Test. Did you get that, Brian? Test.
I'm getting it fine. I don't know why it's not going out. I'll try to make a call.
Test.
It's working.
It's working.
Okay, good.
Did you get that, Brian? Yeah. There I am.
Bleep, bleep, bleep.
It's on.
Okay, thank you.
All right,
Sir?
thank you. I appreciate you letting me go first, Mayor and Commissioners. My daughter has a band concert tonight, and if I miss it, I'm in trouble. First, I want to say the Wildwood Crest Police Department sends its condolences to the Uvalde, Texas community following the horrible tragedy yesterday. We are saddened by the senseless act and are thinking of all those that were involved. I want the community to know that the safety of our children at our school is paramount to the school district and to the police department. We will continue to remain vigilant and work with the school staff to offer the safest learning environment possible. You will see a ramped up presence of police officers at the school for the time being. This is not to startle anyone. This is being done as a precaution. Please remember, if you see something, say something. Nothing is too small. Call us and we'll look into it, please. I'm going to go into just a few points from the report I sent to the commissioners for the month of April. Calls for service, the police department answered 1,870 calls for service. There were 318 criminal investigations. We had 270 service calls, which involves alarm calls, citizen assists, fires, medical assists, school-related activities. We had 403 motor vehicle stops with 74 summonses issued. We did 414 property checks and conducted 236 training hours. We made 13 adult and 2 DUI arrests in the month of April. I want to remind everybody that the Wildwood Crest Police Department is participating in the highway traffic safety click it or ticket seatbelt mobilization currently and until June 5th. So make sure that we're wearing our seatbelts and ensuring that our children are also secured with their either seatbelts or their child restraint devices. Memorial Day weekend is here. Starting Friday, please be careful navigating the island with all the additional holiday traffic, both vehicle and pedestrian, and be safe. Try to enjoy the weekend. Our police canines will be out on the streets starting Friday. They'll be out there with their handlers, patrolling the streets of Wildwood Crest. Both Canine Quest with Officer Tyler Lavender and Canine Flex with Officer Zach Magnavita will be out there utilizing their training to help ensure the safety and security of our community. They're excited to get to work, and I can't wait to see them in action, so keep an eye out for them. They're fantastic animals. So that's all I have for you this month, Commission.
Okay, governing body, any questions for Chief Lloyd?
Thank
No,
you.
sir. Thank you, Chief.
Public, any questions, Chief Lloyd? Anybody on the call, any questions for Chief Lloyd? Chief Lloyd, thank you. Enjoy your time. with your
Thank you
daughter.
very much, and I leave you in the capable hands of Detective Pastore.
Got it.
Enjoy the
Enjoy the concert.
concert.
Commissioner Schiff, you all right? Why don't we just finish up the rest of the public safety reports? That's all right with you? Might as well just keep
That's
on-
fine with
keep
me. I
on-
think we're gonna have
keep
some
on going.
happy people.
All right, who's next? Mr. Harwood?
I think he's pointing to Mr. Johnson or Chief? Chief?
Good evening, Commissioners.
You guys are too willing.
Yeah. For the Wildwood Crest Volunteer Fire Company, from April 1st through May 24th, we had 3 fires, 2 structure fires. Rescue EMS, their elevator and tractor had a total of 5. Hazardous conditions, gas leaks, aircraft standby, CO alarms, 12. 1 service call, good intent calls, 5. False alarms, false calls, malfunction in the alarm system, 17, for a total of 43 incidents. Out of our 28 members, we had an average of 17 men per call. We had 1 mutual aid to the city of Wildwood for a structure fire. That is on the fire commissioner. That's your report for the fire zone. We'll go on to the next one. Would be
I thought you were finished. That was great.
no, we're going to go on to the EMS department, for the month of May, we had a total of 70 calls. We transported 26. We had 15 refusals, 13 recalled or canceled by dispatch. We had 16 assists. We had two mutual aids received from the city of to the borough of Wildwood Crest. We gave 2 mutual aids to the city of North Wildwood, 8 to North Wildwood, 5 to Lower Township. That's a total of 70 calls for the Wildwood Crest EMS department. Moving on to my next one is Office of Emergency Management. We don't have much going on, but I am attending a coordinators meeting tomorrow at 2 p.m. over the county OEM. So I'll report on what we're doing there tomorrow. And the last one would be the Fire Inspection Bureau. From April to May 23rd, we did 441 inspections, 132 re-inspection. We did 15 life hazards inspections, 3 follow-ups. We had 591 total inspections. Total violations sent was 208. Certificate of inspections was 48, and it must have been slow this month. Smoke detector search, there was only 9, so. The Bureau of Housing, the 5-year maintenance program under the multiple dwelling, I inspected 146 units, and 22 units were re-inspection this month. So, for the month of April, we were pretty good. So
I want to thank you for all that you're
Thank you.
doing. Before you leave, one thing I do want to say, since I became Commissioner of Public Safety, one of the things that I wanted to do is to go to events that happen in our town, like a fire or a rescue, whatever it would be. And one of the ones that I did go on was shocking for me, and shocking for the police and also our EMS. And as I stood there as a civilian, and I'm looking the way you guys go from 0 to 100 in a particular instance that there was nothing good that was going to come out of it. Basically, your men, the police department, were unbelievably professional, and I want to thank you for that.
Thank you, sir.
For your guys.
Yeah, and
That's
I'd like
good.
to thank, and the new structure we did have, I'd like to thank we have this first alarm assignment, works out great. With our volunteers, it takes us a few minutes to get to the fire department. A lot of them were really contained at the one motel to the one
Yep,
unit, so
it's
it
good
works
stuff.
out well, the system that we do have in place.
You guys are wonderful. That's why it really bothers me when I hear people complain about the police, rescue, and beach patrol. You know, they don't see the stuff
Right.
until you need the stuff. And thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Nice job.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ron.
Chief, you're up.
Chief.
There's a lot of chiefs around here.
This is,
I'm
Too
an
many
Indian.
chiefs, not enough Indians.
this is a surprise. My wife will wonder why I'm coming home so early. But preseason maintenance staff is busy preparing for the official first guarding day of the 2022 summer season, which is obviously this weekend. The 2022 lifeguard coverage begins this weekend, May 28th to the 30th, June 4th and 5th, and then on June 11th through September 11th, we'll have full-time lifeguarding on the beaches, weather permitting. Handicap transport services will be available from 11 to 4 whenever the lifeguards are on duty, starting on Saturday, the 28th. Surf chairs, which are beach wheelchairs, will also be available to be picked up at lifeguard headquarters, Rambler Road and the beach, between the hours of 10 and 5. They have to be back by 5. Surfing beaches for 2022 will again be Rambler and Primrose, Astor and Cardinal, and Hollywood Topeka, but the Hollywood Topeka beach is only open for surfing from 10 to 12 noon. The other 2 beaches are open all day. New candidate tryouts, we're still looking for qualified candidates to help us protect the beaches this summer. It's been difficult. Staffing, like it is everywhere else, is not easy anymore. So we're still giving testing every Saturday. We have a test on, we're not testing this weekend because of the holiday, but on June the 4th and June the 11th, we'll be at the Joseph Font Savage Memorial Pool at 8 a.m. testing any new candidates that apply. We're still taking applications at Beach Patrol website, which is www.wcbp.org. All candidates must be at least 16 years old to apply. The Wildwood Crest Beach Patrol will again be hosting the 38th Annual Cape May County Lifeguard Championships on Friday, July the 8th, starting at 6:30 p.m. at the Rambler Road Beach in Wildwood Crest. And we expect all 10 beach patrols in Cape May County to attend that event. Our junior lifeguard program, which is grades 4th through 8th, will begin on Thursday, June 23rd. That goes from 9 to 11 in the morning, every Tuesday and Thursday. Our futures program, which is grades 9th through 10, will begin on Wednesday, June 22nd, and that also goes from 9 to 11 every Monday and Wednesday. Any questions or concerns, please call Beach Patrol Headquarters at 609-522-3825, and wish everybody a good Memorial Day weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Chief.
Chief.
Thanks, Chief. Questions for Chief, anybody?
Questions?
Anyone on the call? Questions for
Questions?
Chief Johnson? Hearing none? Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
You're welcome to go home and enjoy dinner with your bride. All right, Mr. Bond, you have a Public Works report? No, I'm just kidding. It's all good. I wouldn't put you on the spot like that.
Why did you do that to that man?
I always do
We're
that.
all used to
Sorry.
that.
Thought I had a little humor in life. All right, Madam Clerk, may we have the ordinance, please?
Yes, sir. It is ordinance
believe
number 1384, and it reads as
Don't make
follows.
me laugh.
An ordinance of the Borough of Wildwood Crest authorizing the acquisition of real property by the Borough of Wildwood Crest, known as a portion of Lot 25 in Block 185, as designated on the municipal tax map.
Motion that ordinance number 1384 be passed on first reading, advertised according to law, be brought up for second and final reading and public hearing on June 8th, 2022 at 9:30 a.m.
I'll second that.
It has been moved and seconded that ordinance number 1384 be passed on first reading, advertised according to law, be brought up for second and final reading and public hearing on June 8th, 2022 at 9:30 a.m.
Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next, we have the resolutions, and the first one is getting pulled, so we go to the second, is authorizing hours and periods of operation of parking meters.
I'll motion that.
I will second.
It has been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is authorizing approval of change order number 2, final fiscal year 2020 NJDCA Small Cities Program, ADA improvements to Scoop Taylor Park in the amount of $4,743.32.
I'll motion it.
I will second.
It has been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is authorizing the chief financial officer to pay the prescribed flat rate per hour to law enforcement pursuant to the 2022 Click It or Ticket 2022 Seatbelt Mobilization Grant.
Motion?
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is authorizing refund of beach box rental fee to Kathy Brady in the amount of $450.
I'll motion that.
I will second.
It has been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is authorizing peddling truck licenses to Island Produce, Inc. for 2022.
I'll motion it.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is authorizing waiving the fee required by application to Ocean Outfitters for Aloha Fridays free ukulele lessons at Sunrise Park, June 24th through September 2nd, 2022.
I'll motion that.
I will second.
It has been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is approving regulations regarding the operation of jitneys in the borough of Wildwood Crest.
Motion?
I will second.
It has been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is authorizing refund of property taxes or utilities overpayment for multiple properties and made payable to CoreLogic.
Motion?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
The next three, if you'd like to do, oh no, there's one more. Authorizing expenditure to purchase 2 Stryker MTS power load cots for emergency medical services under Bergen County Cooperative.
Motion that?
I will second.
It has been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
And the next three are escrow refunds. The first is for permit number SO21-0305 in the amount of $187.50. The second is permit SO21-0405 in the amount of $547.50. And the third is SO21-0413 in the amount of $277.50.
I'll motion it?
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolutions be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is authorizing award of 2 used model year 2011 or newer refuse collection system vehicles contract at the not to exceed sum of $134,000.
Motion?
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is authorizing emergency appropriation for the purchase of property located at Block 185, Lot 25 pursuant to NJSA 40A:4-48.
Motion?
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is authorizing amendment to the 2022 municipal budget to account for additional funding from the New Jersey Division of Highway Traffic Safety Mobilization for the 2022 Click It or Ticket grant.
Motion?
I will second.
It has been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is authorizing a peddling truck license to Monster Cone LLC for 2022.
Motion?
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is authorizing peddling truck license to Aubrey's Ice Cream LLC, doing business as Monster Cone 2 for 2022.
Motion?
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is authorizing approval of change order number 1, NJDCA Small Cities Program, Beach Street End Public Access Improvements, Phase 1B, to reflect additional work for Heather Road Fishing Pier at the not to exceed sum of $57,876.62.
I'll motion that?
I will second.
It has been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Lastly is authorizing Borough Engineer work order for Beach Street End Public Access Improvements Phase 1B, additional services, fishing pier improvements at the not to exceed sum of $6,000.
Motion?
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Motion that all bills properly authorized as submitted be paid.
I'll second that?
It has been moved and seconded that all bills properly authorized as submitted be paid. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Motion that all reports received from the court administrator, CFO, tax collector, chief of police, supervisor of recreation department, construction officer, official, emergency services coordinator for the EMS, and Wildwood Crest Volunteer Fire Company chief for the month ending April 30th, 2022 be accepted as presented.
Second that?
It has been moved and seconded that all reports received from the court administrator, chief financial officer, tax collector, chief of police, supervisor for the recreation department, construction official, emergency services coordinator for the EMS, and the Wildwood Crest Volunteer Fire Company chief for the month ending April 30th, 2022 be accepted as presented. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Motion that all minutes from the regularly scheduled commission meeting dated April 27th, 2022 and May 11th, 2022 be approved as presented.
Second that?
It has been moved and seconded that all minutes from the regularly scheduled commission meetings dated April 27th and May 11th, 2022 be approved as presented. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes. Okay, brings us to our
Thank you, Trish.
Yep.
2 reports. Starting with, Mark, do you have to go to, throw your 85-mile-an-hour fastball? You gonna go first?
Yeah, so actually,
Okay.
this, I usually spin off of Connie, so I'll go first. So,
I don't believe you can throw an 85-mile-per-hour fastball, just being honest.
I'm impressed.
anyway.
The microphone, Mark.
as- Okay, as it relates to capital improvements, the contractor for the Beach Street and Public Access Improvements Phase 1B project, which is currently in construction, is making very good progress. In fact, based on my conversation with that contractor today, bearing any unforeseen issues, he will be done by June 17th, which is great news. Okay. Next is we continue to work on the following new capital projects. They are reconstruction of Syracuse Avenue, the Beach Patrol Headquarters renovation, and the Beach CAFR permit, which includes the beach backpassing. Last item to report on are two grant initiatives that we're going to be working on over the next few weeks. The first one is the fiscal year 2023 NJDOT Municipal Aid Program, which usually funds roadway improvements, and then separately there's a bikeway program as well. So I would recommend that the borough look at two applications to submit under that program. And the final grant initiative is the NJDP iBank, which will fund hopefully a low-interest loan and a grant, hopefully, for sanitary sewer replacement on streets. But as part of the restoration of the streets, they will also pay for the curbing, the paving, handicap ramp. So essentially, it becomes like a borough road program. So we will be filing those grants and working on those over the next 2 weeks, and hopefully we have a successful conclusion after they're submitted. That is my report.
Okay, governing body, questions for Mr. de Blasio?
No, sir. Thanks, Mark.
Thank you, Mark.
Public, any questions for our engineer? Anybody on the conference line have any questions of our engineer? Hearing none, Mr. de Blasio, good luck in your baseball game. If you're free to go,
You gotta warm up, right?
you gotta warm up.
Takes 2 hours.
Okay, safe travels back up.
Thank you.
Constance?
Thank you, sir. Ongoing and upcoming projects. Beach bump outs. So Mark just reported on Phase 1B. We also found out that we did receive $2.5 million in open space grant monies from Cape May County to construct 11 beach bump outs, which we are now preparing to go out to bid for. So that project is forthcoming, but we have more of them coming south of Rambler Road, and we did receive full funding for that. Pacific Avenue, for the period of the 16th through the 20th, last week, the county engineer reported the following, and he gives me weekly reports. I ask for those. The concrete flat work has been completed. The brick paver restoration will continue and be completed shortly. Irrigation repairs, sodding, topsoiling, and seeding will continue behind the concrete curbs, and repairs are being made as complaints come in. I am transmitting them over to the county so that they can handle them, and they are being very responsive. The remaining unpaved sections of the northbound lane and shoulders will be fine graded and base paved in the near future. Milling to grade, excavation, and fine grading of the southbound lanes and shoulders will continue. Limited portions of the southbound lane and shoulders will be base paved for this week, which is 5/23 to 5/26. Milling to grade, excavation, and fine grading of the southbound lanes and shoulders will continue. The remaining portion of the southbound and shoulders will be base paved next week, and traffic control devices will be removed on or around 5/26. They are a bit behind, so I anticipate that going into after the weekend. They won't be doing any work, but they will be coming back after that. It is anticipated that the Thursday prior to Memorial Day weekend, the roadway will have been base paved, and the lawn area restoration will have been completed. The roadway will be open to two-way traffic for the weekend, although casting and manhole rims will extend out about 2 inches above the base paving surface in preparation for the final surface course paving. The final paving, traffic striping, and markings will be installed after Memorial Day, but prior to June 13th. So that's when you're going to finally see them go away and then come back in the fall. The Hereford Inlet to Cape May Inlet Beach and Dune construction, as of just this week, Coastal Engineering is still working with Wildwood and Lower Township on their state aid agreements. They have not signed them as of yet, but they are continuing to compel them to do so. New Jersey Avenue, we don't have anything new to report at this time, but we do anticipate ramping up in advance of that 2023 project. Sunset Lake and State Channel dredging. We continue to work with the New Jersey Department of Transportation and our dredging committee to have the state dredge their channel, and we have requested that they realign the channel and perhaps partner with us to dredge more of the lake area. Commissioner Franco and I continue to meet with local, state, and federal legislators to solicit their help and support. We have engaged the services of an attorney who specializes in dredge projects to assist with our efforts, and met recently with the newly appointed DEP Commissioner, Sean LaTourette. So we'll continue to meet with people, we'll continue to advocate for the project. CAFRA applications. In an ongoing effort to remain compliant with the state's coastal management rules, the Borough has been working on 2 separate CAFRA permits. The first permit seeks to permit the Beach Patrol storage adjacent to the Beach Patrol headquarters. Our environmental consultant has submitted a request for an administrative review. We are currently awaiting word back, and we'll let you know as soon as we hear. The second IP permit is still being worked on and will permit the following 5 items: the dune and beach maintenance activities, the bike path improvements north of Rambler, the widening of pedestrian accesses through the dunes north of Rambler, the old library site improvements, including expanded parking opportunities and water main looping. The old library renovations, or what we now call the Crest Arts Pavilion. The contractor has made steady progress on the interior and exterior of the building. The roof is complete. Windows are installed, mostly. The tile work and bathroom fixtures are installed, as are partitions and all tiling work. Other plumbing and electrical work is ongoing. The gas service will be installed shortly. We just issued a temporary permit for that. And delays in the obtaining the storefront doors and some of the lighting fixtures continue to be an issue, which could delay the July 1, what we're really hoping to get open on time. And that is all I have.
Okay. Commissioners, questions?
Thank you.
Thank you, Connie.
Governing body, questions for Connie? Public, anybody?
not know.
Public, anybody for Connie? Anybody on the conference line have any questions for our administrator? Okay, hearing none, then we'll keep on moving. Under correspondence, we have received a request for the borough to review handicap parking. I know that public safety is reviewing that request. Cape May County broadband assessment. Connie, you want to talk about that, or Trish?
Trish has that correspondence.
Go ahead.
Right, I did send it to both of you. There was something that they had sent to us regarding the broadband assessment, and they'd like us to put it on our webpage to help all of our stakeholders, homeowners, and it's a quick, easy survey.
It's for the public to respond to, too.
That's what I meant, like it's, so Brian can put it on our website and have everybody who's interested do the survey.
So, all right, so I think, is everybody okay with it going on the website?
Yeah, I received that today.
Yeah.
Okay. Mr. Kniff, you're good to go.
I'll send it to you, Brian.
All right, first round of public comments. Anybody have any public comments? Yes, ma'am.
Kay Sparkman, 7705 New Jersey Avenue.
I'm sorry,
She needs
Kay.
a mic.
Sorry, we can hear you.
First of all, I want to say the ladies we could hear much better than you gentlemen. They're much louder.
I'm gonna leave that comment.
That
comment
doesn't
alone.
bode well for me.
No, we really could hear them much
I
better.
was married 42 years, I understand.
You probably hear me too, because I'm loud. Anyway, there's a property on New Jersey Avenue on the corner of New Jersey and Rambler. 7201, I think is the address. It's in bad, it looks bad. People sitting at the traffic lights there, coming into town, or the local people, paint is peeling all off. It looks like there's some holes in the side of the building. Looks like it's a rental, which I don't understand how it would be qualified as a rental. I just wanted to bring that up. And one other thing, the motel on Ocean Avenue, that's been, quote, under construction since last year with a fence around it. Nothing was done all last summer, nothing was done all winter, nothing looks like it's gonna be done this summer, and it's an eyesore. It looks awful. I think you all know where I'm talking about. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Was that 7201 New Jersey Avenue?
New Jersey and.
Rambler.
Rambler, right on the corner.
Okay.
And I don't disagree with you on the
Thank you.
Ocean Avenue
And they
property.
knew people coming into town, it looks horrible. Especially with the traffic light there, you're stopped, you're sitting and looking right at it.
We have our DCA inspector in the room.
That 72-1, sir, is under violation for the painting of the exterior. It is a multiple dwelling, 3 units. It is back into my cycle now. We can probably go with code enforcement on the other end, Brian, and the issues of stuff. He knows about the painting. He's having some financial issues at this time. And that's what he told me when he called me 3 weeks ago. So that's where we're at with that. It is under violation from the state of New Jersey. So for the painting of the exterior.
On it.
We've been on it for
Thank you.
2 months
Yeah.
or longer. So that's where we're at on it.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else? Anybody else have public comments? Anybody on the conference line have any public comments? Hearing none, we're gonna move on to discussion. There's nothing listed under new business. Under old business, beach beach excavation is on hold. Office moves, we're waiting to hear back from chief on that. New Jersey lots, cost and vision.
He's gonna have a report for us tomorrow or Tuesday.
Okay. Vision for old library lease specs, we can actually take that off.
We can.
Because we are officially out to bid on that.
We're receiving bids June 15th at 10 a.m. and 10:30 a.m.
Gotcha. Flood mitigation projects, that's on hold. Referendum, that's on hold. Dredging, Connie reported on that. Commissioner, anything on that?
No, sir.
Okay. Beach patrol building, anything on that, Commissioner?
We're moving forward, looking at different options. Buddy and our lieutenants are on that. We'll have something to bring back hopefully in 2 weeks. Try to get out to bid on time so we can get it shovel ready in October.
Okay. CAFR permit is, we're just waiting, I think, on the determination, the JD, before we send the final.
And then the
Okay.
next capital permit, the next IP is for the other 5 items. That's actually being prepared now, but not ready to go out just yet.
Okay, and the Preston Park Sustainable New Jersey project, that's going under some cost-cutting redesign. So the more information will be coming out back on that, and hopefully going out to bid to have a contractor perhaps start that right after the summer. Public comments, last round of public comments before we go on to commissioners' comments. Hearing none? Commissioners, fire away.
Guess I'm first as
Go ahead.
always.
There you go.
I've already said my piece for our different departments. The fire department is also doing a great job, but I'd like to thank the community for coming out to these meetings. I think it's important for people to be involved, to voice your opinions, to let us know your feelings. My office is always open. I know the mayor's is, and I know Commissioner Franco's is. So we're here. We work for you. So whatever we can help you with, to the best of our ability. There's some things we can't change, but we're here to listen. So thank you for coming out.
I do have a comment about the upcoming summer. So this is the unofficial kickoff to our summer season. And I kind of just wanted to touch on last year, some stats that I pulled from the tourism part of it. In 2021, 1 in 12 New Jersey jobs were supported by tourism. New Jersey had 96.6 million visitors, which has grown over 14% from 2020. New Jersey visitors spent $37.3 billion, up $8 million from 2020, with each traveler spending about $386 per trip. Visitor spending generated about $4.6 billion in the state and local taxes, which equals $1,400 in tax savings for every household. Further predictions for this year, 12% growth to $108 million per trip in 2022, recovering about 75% of visitation losses from the pandemic. Visitation is estimated to reach pre-COVID levels in 2023. Additionally, visitors' spending is projected to surpass $44 billion this year, which is an increase of 19%, pushing it to 90% of pre-pandemic levels and a full recovery in 2023. Source is visitnj.org, and that is my report.
Okay, thank you. All right, first of all, I want to wish everybody a happy Memorial Day weekend. Make it a safe one. A couple quick local announcements. So the Crest Best Swim Fest takes place on Saturday morning along the lakefront. That event should probably take about an hour to 2 hours tops, but if you want to see a bunch of crazy swimmers in the water, swimming in 55-degree or hopefully warmer weather, I'll be one of them. I'll see you out there. Later that night, Chatter Band is playing at Sunday at 7:30. The Chatter Band is playing at Centennial Park. Mr. Bond and Public Works has the spray ground up and running starting Friday of this weekend. The kayak launch is all open. I will also give a shout out to Public Works and also Recreation, because of all the weather that we've had and so forth. The town is looking nice. The grass is green. The weeds are we're working on those. We're pulling those all up. The streets are being cleaned, so everything is that big mad rush for Memorial Day. So thank you to Public Works and the Recreation Department for all their work. Just a couple comments on the Pacific Avenue project. There's probably not a day that goes by that I don't get beat up on the construction on Pacific Avenue and most recently the yard sale. I guess the only thing I can ask for is just, that project, the boroughs did their part in terms of the side streets and the stormwater work that we had to do roughly a year and a half ago. Unfortunately, the county got wrapped up in some litigation that delayed the start of the project. But the project is moving along. We've extended them, we've offered them the ability to work until 8 o'clock this week to try to get the roadway paved so that we can open it back up. And you and all of our vacationers and residents can enjoy that roadway. But the yard sale, I know I was one of them, but I've heard from many others that, hey, Pacific Avenue was closed down. Folks couldn't cross over and they couldn't get to my yard sale. I certainly apologize for that. Wasn't intended at all. However, I will give you the good news is that there's another free yard sale on October the 1st. So if you missed the first one as a result of that construction, hopefully you can jump into the second one on October the 1st. That is my comments for this evening. Again, happy Memorial Day, and we'll see you all in June.
Stay safe.
All right. Any other comments? Hearing none, entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll move.
I will second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
6:13.